right. I think everybody entering has slowed down just a little bit. So we probably have just about as many as we're going to have for right now. So we want to go ahead and honor your time. So again, my name is Brad Holk. I'm one of the vice principals here at Matilda Torres. And this evening, we're going to be talking through some of our
You're mute, sir.
oh man, it just happens sometimes. Sorry about that. All right, so my name is Brad Holk. I'm one of the vice principals here at Matilda Torres. And this evening, we're going to be talking through some of our competitive classes. We're going to be looking at our enhanced classes, honors, AP, and dual enrollment. All right. We got those in. There we go. Perfect. So we'll kind of jump into things with the enhanced classes. And with our enhanced classes, we're going to see, oh, there we go, that the classes themselves are geared towards preparing students for honors and AP as they move through the grades. The standards are the same as in non-enhanced classes, but the main difference is that you'll begin to learn additional skills and you'll have the opportunity to think more deeply about the standard aligned topics. So a benefit would be that you're going to end up having an exposure to a more rigorous content in order to prepare as a student for higher level classes like the honors, the advanced placement, and dual enrollment. One thing to know though for the enhanced classes is there's not a GPA bump that we'll see in the other classes. And we'll kind of talk through what that means as we move forward. The classes that we have, whoop, that went too far, sorry. The classes that we have set up for the enhanced classes are ELA 1, Math 1, and Math 2. And just kind of a side note, ELA is English Language Arts. So those are your regular English classes, okay? So with, my goodness, there we go. The next classes we have as students are progressing and have taken that enhanced class, the next step would be to start an honors class. And the honors classes expose students to kind of the next level of higher rigor. The course will challenge the student by having higher expectations and pushing students to think at a higher level. Students will develop the skills and knowledge that will prepare them for AP and dual enrollment courses. So some things to kind of be aware of as they move forward. With these classes, for the honors classes, you do receive what is a bump in your GPA. And this is starting with 10th graders. So for example, any class that earns a C or better will receive 1 extra GPA point. For example, if you received a B in the class, it would actually GPA be equivalent as an A. And if you received an A in the class, you actually received an additional point that would actually be a 5 out of a 4 scale. This is how some students graduate with honors and end up having higher than a 4.0 GPA because of these grade bumps from their honors, AP, and dual enrollment classes. So this is a great way to help boost your GPA. With these classes, will also students become more competitive with top colleges and universities. They love to see the honors courses and AP and dual enrollment as they move forward on the transcripts. especially if you're looking for the CS to start out at the CSU, UC, Ivy League, private, and beyond. Okay. The courses that we offer that are honors courses, starting with our sophomores, would be ELA 2, so our English language arts, and then our math 3. Those are the two options that they have for them as sophomores. As students are moving on, we have advanced placement classes. Now, the advanced placement classes is a program that's created by College Board that's taught by high school teachers. Now, it offers college level curriculum and examinations to high school students. And in these courses, the students take an AP exam at the end of that 10-month course, and it measures their mastery of the college level content. So everything that is being presented during that course is all building up towards that really, really important test. And with that test, a score of a 3 or higher on that AP exam can typically earn students college credit and or placement into advanced courses in college. Now, we use the word, I know that can typically earn, doesn't sound very exact, okay? And I understand that. But there are some colleges, and the guidance counselors can kind of assist students with understanding this as we move on later, not in the presentation, but as we move on in the kind of just the counseling process as we move through the grades. They can kind of talk through with that a little bit with them. But that some colleges don't do the extra, but it's still viewed as a positive with them. So talking through some of the things, how does it really benefit a student to be in that AP? Well, students learn rigorous college level content and skills. It builds critical thinking skills, confidence, essential time management, and study skills needed for college success. And taking an AP course gives a student an opportunity to earn those valuable credits and placement in college. We hear over and over again from students over the years who've gone through AP courses and who have really put in the time to learn the material, who have said, oh my goodness, the class, the rigor and the work that I did to prepare for this class is the thing that made me successful as I transitioned to college. And I was able to take those things that I learned how to study and do here and apply it into not just the exact course that they took in college, but into any course and subject. So it's a definite skill, what I would consider a skill builder for students. So some other college benefits, AP courses show college admission officials that students are challenging themselves by preparing for the rigor they'll encounter in their college careers. And they really love to see that on transcripts. Then students' options and opportunities expand with those things, so that with the ability to complete college courses sooner, double major and or complete a college degree in 4 years. We've had students who end up going and starting college where they have completed enough credits, college credits, that they essentially have covered full semester or even a year of schooling that gives them just that extra freedom when they're transferring over. So upon successfully passing the AP tests, students earn that college credit. And one of the coolest things is AP will save you money and time. The school pays for the textbooks, and you'll end up getting a discount on the AP exam itself. So each test that's passed that means that's another specific class in college that your son or daughter doesn't have to take. So they don't have to pay the money for those, or you don't have to pay the money for those classes or those textbooks. So it is definitely a saver. The AP classes that we will be offering in the 21-22 school year is AP Human Geography, AP European History, and AP English Language and Composition. And our plan is, as we continue to progress here at Matilda Torres, is that we will continue to offer a wider variety of AP. So next year we will have freshman, sophomore, and junior, and then following year we'll have seniors, and this will expand our opportunities for more of those classes. So we talked about the enhanced, the honors, and the AP. Another thing that is very similar to the AP is the dual enrollment. And they offer some of the same positives, but let's kind of go through it because it is a different setup. The AP itself, everything is working towards the culmination of passing this test, the AP test, and that's what gets you the college credit. The dual enrollment is structured different. So we'll talk through that. So what is dual enrollment? Dual enrollment allows high school students to take college classes while they're still enrolled in high school. Okay, the student will be awarded both college units and high school credit for the class that they're taking. So you're, on one hand, you're meeting high school graduation requirements, and you're also beginning to meet major requirements for college, all structured from the same class. And then the credits are automatically awarded to the student after course completion. So rather than building up towards a test with AP, dual enrollment, you're earning that grade along the way, just like you do in college. So advantages to dual enrollment, essentially, again, it's free college courses for high school students. The high school will provide the textbook, but students must return it at the end of the course. It'll ease the transition from high school to college. You have an opportunity to kind of get your feet wet and get an understanding of what some of the expectations are going to be. There'll be exposure to college level content. Students take fewer courses in college because they will have accomplished it here. And then students may complete their college degree within 4 years because of the added buffer of credits that have been earned. So students will end up obtaining a high school grade and credits, and then a grade on their college transcripts with those specific units itself. With this, high school students are seen as college students. Instructors will work directly with the students, and students will have an actual college transcript when the course is over itself. And the course will be taught by approved adjunct professor for those 18 weeks that they're involved in that. Now, the adjunct is kind of always sounds odd to me, but essentially it's a non-full tenured teacher for the college. And that means essentially we'll have a teacher who has a master's or above teaching that course. And we have those teachers here on staff that are doing that. What's great is our counselors here will guide students through the process of the application. And it's just important that students are proactive in checking their emails in the process of that transition too. Some more important information about dual enrollment is that courses are taught at the pace and rigor of a college course, and requires students' commitment to the pace and timelines put in place by the college instructor. It literally is a college course. So those are the rigor and expectations come, higher rigor and expectations come with those courses itself. So participating in dual enrollment, the students creating an official college transcript. And once the final grade has been posted to their transcript, it becomes part of their permanent college academic record. And students will earn, students who earn a D or an F or no credit may be placed even on academic probation and affect their ability to receive financial aid. So those are some things to kind of keep into consideration. And once that grade posts, Madera Unified School District cannot change that course grade. Okay, so some things to think about. So students who didn't pass could be placed on, like we said, the academic probation, and they're given essentially a semester to raise their GPA, okay, which they absolutely can do. If a student is struggling, they say they enroll in the dual enrollment class, and they begin to get a few weeks into it and realize, oh man, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I had expected. There are timelines that will follow. We have to be very specific with them because the timelines are set by the actual college. But there are certain timelines that allow us to go ahead and drop, or that student to go ahead and drop if they see fit to do so. And then there's certain times, there's a cutoff at 3 weeks where you can drop, then without anything on the transcript. At 6 weeks, you could drop, and there would be a W on the transfer, on the withdrawal, so that there's not a failing grade. Okay, so those are just some things to be aware of. And counselors will kind of help keep us aware of some of those, what we'll just call kind of important dates that that kids need to be aware of. So upon completion, students can request a college transcript that will indicate the course information and their college GPA. Students can take a total of 2 dual enrollment courses per semester, and there's no exceptions for that. And parents and guardians of community college students don't actually have access to their students' records regardless of their age. So right now, any parent can sign in to Aries and take a look at exactly what their student's grade is and keep updated of what it is. When it comes to dual enrollment, because it is a college course, the grading system is actually run through, I believe the proper name of it is Canvas, which is the program that the community college is using. So we don't have access to that grade, and we, meaning Torres High School, until the college professor, which is the student's teacher, posts that grade at the end of the semester. So there are some ways, though, that you as a parent can stay up to date with that information, and that ends up being a part of this FERPA, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. So I'll kind of read this through, and I'll kind of do a little bit of explanation. And Sarah, I may need just a little help on some of that information, but I'll let you know. Okay, Sarah? So the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act is the FERPA, outlines certain rights that students have concerning access to and release of their educational records. The act ensures that students will have access to their educational records and that the college will not release their records to anyone, including any parents, who is not designated by the student to receive them, except as provided by the law itself. There's a form that your son or daughter can fill out that will say they grant you, as the parent or any other trusted person, access to this information. We suggest that you would ask them to add you on that waiver so that you can access it. We would also suggest that they add, since this is a dual enrollment course at the high school, we would actually suggest that they go ahead and also add their school guidance counselor. That way, that counselor can assist them as they move through the process in a much more smooth way, okay? And there is a form, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, just a simple yay or nay. They can access that form through the community college website, correct?
When they are applying for the actual class, we will provide and give them all the application paperwork needed, plus the FERPA form, and then we sign off because we have to approve it. So admin signs off on it and counselor will sign off on it. So we will provide everything. It's all about checking your email because that's how we communicate and that's how we keep track. And so there's just a lot of deadlines with that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. So with dual enrollment, there are some eligibility requirements. And students must have a minimum of a 2.5 overall GPA. They must currently be passing all classes with a C or better and on track with credits. Must have a minimum of a 2.5 on their current semester GPA, so they're the physical classes that they're in at that moment. And attendance is crucial. So you can't miss more than 3 days of the course, okay? So attendance is very, very important. In the 21-22 school year at Matilda Torres, we're gonna be offering 2 classes. One, it's a History 11 and 12, and it's OT 10, which is technically a medical terminology class. Okay, I don't know why it says OT. It didn't make sense to me, but it's medical terminology. Okay, let's kind of talk through what students would expect if they were in those classes. So if you were enrolling in the dual enrollment History 11, okay, it traces the course of U.S. history. History 11 does, history from the New World explorations to the end of Reconstruction in 1877. This course will examine the creation of an American identity through the lens of European and Native collaboration and conflict, revolution, westward expansion, the Civil War, and Reconstruction that followed. While discovering the creation and growth of America, this class will have the opportunity to analyze historical work and primary sources in order to improve their historical thinking skills. They'll also look at the dark side of human history as well as the light. And they'll explore how the environment, society, economics, and politics helped to cement the country as it grew, okay? Also, kind of what to expect on the workload. The task as a student would be essentially to read through the textbook as well as the supplemental material. Take careful notes during lecture to articulate using primary and secondary sources, and be present in mind and body, and ultimately to learn and have fun while learning. Okay, so some recommendations for students to consider is to understand the level of commitment to both the class and the subject itself. Now, history, that was history 11. History 12, we won't go into as much detail, but it is essentially where this left off in 1877 up to current history. Now, for the medical terminology, some things for what to expect. The class will be covering basic human anatomy and function of human body systems, and focus on the fundamental of medical language. So Greek and Latin word parts. So students will be required to pass a 160 question final on 160 prefixes, word roots, and suffixes covered during the semester. They must pass the final with 95% accuracy to pass the course. If they don't receive a 95 or higher on the final exam, their overall course grade is changed to an F. There's a heavy focus on the required 160 word parts throughout the course. And the teacher tells us that as long as students memorize and study the required word parts throughout the course, not just wait till the last couple weeks, okay, that they actually have a very high pass rate in the medical terminology class itself. So for the dual enrollment, there is definitely a financial cost saver by going through the course itself. And so kind of here's a little bit of a cost comparison. If you take a dual enrollment course at the high school, Matilda Torres is, say you take the History 11 course, it's free, there's no cost, okay? Same thing with the medical terminology. The textbook is free because we're covering the cost of that. The only thing is it has to be returned. So as long as you pass that course, you're getting college credit at no cost. I'm all about no cost. Whoop, whoop, that'd be great, okay? Zero cost. So to compare that, if you took that same course, which is a course offering at Madera Community College, the cost would be $46 per unit. So at 3 units, that's $138. The textbook typically costs about $100. So the cost savings compared to Madera Community College is $238. Now, at CSU Fresno, it's 305 credits, sorry, $305 per unit. So if that 3 unit course would cost $915. Another $100 textbook, and that's $1,015 savings. And then if you go to UC Merced, it's $500 per unit. So a 3 unit course would cost $1,500, $100 textbook, so that's a $1,600 savings. Students, when they're taking these dual enrollment courses, they're putting in a lot of work for it, absolutely. But there is a definite payoff, just the same as there is a payoff with the AP course. When you pass that test, you are receiving college credit, and the dollars and cents would be the exact same comparison, okay? Because the course itself would cover another 3 unit course. So just like the AP, the dual enrollment will save you money and time. Time specifically being not having to physically take that class in college because it's already been completed for you. So we would encourage you actually to take a look at some of the information provided through Madera Community College. And they on their website have, let's see if I can get this to, that's not going to share. I can get this to go over here. Can everybody see that? Is that okay? Yes? Okay, sorry. All right. Madera Community College has a web page that is already set up that will walk you through a lot of the information that we've talked through and a little bit more about their dual enrollment courses and the opportunities that you have there. On that website, you'll also find that they have information on admissions and records and how you obtain those records. The library also has a complete site where students can access information, and they also have a link for tutoring services that students who are in need of the extra assistance can get the needed help provided beyond the classroom. So to kind of begin to wrap things up, I know we've given you a ton of information. Let's talk through just a little bit about student expectations. When it comes to these courses, there are expectations that we have for our students. You should be able to maintain above average grades, okay? You want to see, it wouldn't be advantageous for a student to go into these courses and receive D's, okay, or F's. That's not our goal, okay? So we encourage students to put their best foot forward and work really well in the classes on their grades. So another expectation is consistency. Students' attendance needs to be good. They need to work on the assignments and know that they're needing to turn in quality work with those assignments, because all of this preparation is helping them get ready for college, okay? And also there's an expectation that they will come prepared and that they'll advocate for themselves when there is a need. So these are some rough estimates that if a student is taking enhanced or honors classes, the students will spend approximately an hour of study time per class meeting outside of the class. These are not going to be classes that a student can 100% maintain their coursework without doing work outside of class, okay? For advanced placement and dual enrollment, students will spend an hour or more of study time per class meeting outside of class. Some would at times would say it could be closer to 2 hours, especially when we're getting further into the semester and getting closer to finals or midterms for DE, or AP is preparing for the test. So when it comes down to the courses themselves, we're looking at various different things that will end up placing them in these classes. If there is a student that says, I just flat out, I do not want these courses. I appreciate you seeing this in me and putting this challenge in front of me, but I'm choosing, this is not what I want to go ahead and do. There is an opportunity for students to opt out of those courses and take the standard course. And they can go ahead and fill out that form. Do you want me to put, Sarah, can you post that link? We can go ahead and put a link in the chat so that you'll be able to see that form if that's something that your son or daughter would choose to do, to opt out at this point based on the information provided. We do have, though, a deadline to opt out for these courses for next year. And that deadline is April 23rd. So that's in 2 days. I know it's really fast, okay? But it's something that it's a date that's been set for us, okay? I know that there's been a lot of information that we've that I've gone through in here, and I know that questions have been answered. A lot of questions have been answered in the chat, but we wanted to take just a few minutes as we kind of wrap things up here. Are there any questions? And our counselors will give us a hand as we kind of work through this. Any questions that you have, you can feel free to type that in the chat. Or if you want to unmute or raise your hand, I can unmute you, and we can kind of go from there. So the question Joy asked was, are DE courses at Torres High School or MCC, Madera Community College? The DE courses are here. Okay, so the student would be taking that, and that would be taught by our teachers, our staff here, and those again are teachers who hold a master's or above in that specific subject area for which they are teaching.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, you know, when they do AP classes or the dual enrollment, yes, they go the GPA up, but why not with the honor classes? Because they are hard too.
You know, the honors class actually does have the GPA boost. The only one that doesn't would be the freshman enhanced.
Yeah, no, but math in the 10th, they don't give you, I think.
In the honors, they do.
They give you? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I go ahead and add to that, Mr. Hulk?
Yes.
So we have Math 2 Enhanced. Students will get Math 3 honors their junior year. So their sophomore year, there is no math honors class. There is only a Math 2 Enhanced class that will give them the extra boost of GPA, that will not give them the extra boost in their GPA for ACSU GPA purposes.
There you go. That was my question. So next year, the number 3 is gonna be what? Not advanced?
So the reason for that is because at a CSU level, they have their own requirements in what they accept, what is a true honors class. They have a list that needs to get approved by the University of California. We will share that link information once we have our school courses updated on that website, where all parents will be able to see what classes are true honors, where they will qualify for the extra boost in GPA. For CSUs, we do not have control over what they say would give them the extra boost of GPA. However, when they are at their junior year and Math 3, they will get the extra boost in their GPA.
Thank you.
All right. So yes, the DE and AP courses are they don't require an adjusted schedule, and they're taught during the normal school day. So for the DE instructors we have this next school year, we have Mr. Martinez, who is doing the history, and we have Miss Williams, who is teaching the medical terminology. Do we have any other further questions? As you guys are kind of thinking about what questions you may have.
I have a
Yes,
question.
absolutely.
My daughter has submitted a change of course form already and hasn't, and I'm wondering when those decisions will be made to change in her schedule.
Say the name. Which course form? I'm sorry, I just didn't quite pick it up.
She wants to change from culinary arts 2 into physics, honors physics, or AP physics, whatever is offered.
Okay. You know what? If you can send me, if you can in the chat that your daughter's name, I believe you said daughter, we can go ahead and take a look at that, and we'll have our counselor.
Oh, the counselor's wonderful. Sarah Bonilla is amazing.
So Ms. Bonilla can go ahead and reach out to you with that exact change, okay?
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
I just want to reiterate what Ms. Robinson said. Ms. Bonilla is amazing.
She is. We are blessed to have her here.
I had a quick question. If we as parents have, as we process this and have additional questions later, would it be possible to set up like a Zoom meeting with the counselor, just to kind of ask any questions that may come up later, or even, I know we can always email. Ms. Bonilla is really good about that. But is that at all a possibility?
It is a possibility, yes. My suggestion would be we could start out with if you want to email something, if it is, sometimes we just have more questions that can really fit easily on an email. But yes, we absolutely could do whichever would end up working out best.
Sounds great. Thank you.
So basically what I'm saying is both options are available.
Thank you.
All right. So the 10th grade courses, we have the enhanced math enhanced 2. We have honors ELA 2. The math 3 honors is a junior course, correct, Ms. Orejel? Yeah. I believe that answers your question, Mrs. Corona.
Sorry, my husband.
Ms. Magdaleno, there's not a specific, there's not a prerequisite for a number on that for how many AP classes a student can take, like there is for DE. So it really depends on how it fits into their schedule and the comfort level that they would have with the added coursework if you're doing multiple of those. I'm sorry, Ms. Corona. I know when I kind of started the answer to the question, I jumped over you.
Oh, it's fine. My husband had walked in. He's on the athletic boosters meeting right now. And so I didn't understand what you said because he had his meeting going on his phone. So could you repeat
No
that,
problem.
please?
So the sophomores would have for math enhanced would be math enhanced 2, because the honors math would be 3, that'd be as a junior. ELA 2, honors. So those would be the 2.
And then I guess I was a little bit confused on the history. It's just world history, right? Or is it world history and human anatomy? Like a semester of each?
I can go ahead and answer. So we do have AP Human Anatomy, which we do recommend for the 9th graders. For 10th grade, we do recommend AP European History, which is AP Euro, and that will be a whole year, which will take in place of the world history. And 10th graders can also take honors chemistry, and that option is available for them as well.
Or European history instead of world history?
Correct.
So counselors, we have a question in the chat that says, if I want to get my incoming 9th grader into advanced classes, how do I go about that?
So I will go ahead and post the link in the chat in regards where it talks about course request change. If you can go ahead and have the student fill it out, as it's going to require the student's email. And you can go ahead and fill out the form and saying that you are wanting to make a change. You're either wanting to drop a class to add it, like for example, they have Math 1 and you're wanting to drop Math 1 to add in Math 1 Enhanced, you can go ahead and put that there. You will just have to type in Math 1 Enhanced, and then we will follow up with you. He doesn't have an email. He's incoming from Sherman Thomas. Okay, go ahead and if you can send me a private chat with your email, and we will go ahead and follow up with you.
Ms. Robertson, I see that you have your hand up.
Yes, my daughter right now is in AP Euro as a 10th grader, but she's enrolled next year in history, CE history at the community college. So is that repeating the same requirement for graduation, or just getting the college credit?
She would be able, if she's enrolled in what I understood to be the next year, the History 11 DE, that means that it's the class she would take here on campus that would get her the high school credit and the college credit.
Then what is the AP Euro that she's taking this year any different?
AP Euro is different. That one, if she takes and passes the AP exam, would also give her course credit for that European history class. So it covers 2 different history requirements for college.
So would it be like Western Civ 1 and Western Civ 2?
I don't know offhand the exact course that would cover. I would definitely be speaking out of turn if I said exactly which one it is, but it is, Ms. Bonilla, would you by chance know what exact course that would cover?
I believe if regarding world history, it's 20. I want to say it's like history 20 for the dual enrollment option. So US history is going to be 11 or 12 next year. It's a whole different requirement.
Yeah, this what you're sitting happens to be Western Civ 1. So, all right, thank you.
Ms. Garcia online is asking, is the course request in order like 1st through 6th period? The form is not taking into consideration, it's not what order the class would be on a schedule. That course, if I'm understanding the question correctly, it's a listing of the 6 courses that the student would take. And it depends on the master schedule and how things fit in. And that would be the thing that would determine the order in which they are on the actual permanent schedule.
So the order you actually see right now, it might change. So I would not pay attention to period time because we're still working with the master schedule. And so the teachers might change, the period's going to change. What we want to focus is on the actual class when you're looking at the Aries classes.
All right. So we want to honor everybody's time. We want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. But we'll extend the offer one last time. Is there any questions that anybody has?
Hey, Mr. Hulk, Johnny Corona here. Quick question. I'm not sure I wasn't able to get the answer on this one. Are students able to take classes at the college, community college, and then receive A through G credit for any of their required classes in high school?
Sarah, do you want to kind of talk through MCAP options? And right now we don't have that's not an option. Sarah, could you better explain that?
I'm wondering if Jeanette could better explain it actually. But typically we do, if the student is taking a class that is equivalent to a class that we're asking of you guys, our registrar will look at it and we'll talk to you guys. It's probably better that you guys just ask us maybe what classes you're considering so we can make sure that you haven't already taken it or we're not planning on you having to take it in the future so you don't double. We do have a lot of students that do on their own take classes outside of their time, after 4 o'clock, and that's awesome. It's just, we want to make sure that it doesn't go against what we're doing here. So maybe it's just better that we, you meet with your counselor, put in a counsel request and or email us so we can get back to you. We have a lot of students that really want to push and it's awesome. And so there's also application we might have to sign off for to show that you guys are a high school student taking that college class at the same time.
Is that perfect? All right. So another question in the chat is which is a better option for a student, AP or DE? And it's kind of like the $1 million question, to be honest. There's, and it depends. There's pluses and minuses for each. So just some things to kind of consider. The DE, you're physically taking a college course. Okay, so it builds upon itself as a grade as you move on, or as you move through the course. It's going to be, the rigor is high, most definitely, and it's going to be a lot of work throughout. But if you have a passing grade in that course, you're going to get the college credit. Now, AP, it's about the AP test and the preparation for that specific AP test. So you go through the 10 months of that class, and the culmination is whatever score you're receiving on the test. And you have to receive a 3 or higher in order for that test to essentially test you out of the course for college and to give you essentially the 3 credits that would earn. So if you, for example, had let's just say you had a solid grade B in the class. Actually, let's just say you had an A, okay? You have an A in the class, and then you get to the AP test and you don't pass the AP test, then that would mean that you don't receive the credits from that class for college. You still have a great grade that goes onto your transcript. You still get the grade boost. That's great, okay? But you would not have you wouldn't have the college credits, the 3 physical credits that would count for the college. Here is our counselors' information and email addresses. And if you have further questions or anything that you'd like to ask as you kind of think and process through what we talked about this evening, please feel free to reach out to our counselors. We have an amazing counseling staff here at Torres, and they most definitely want to come alongside your son or daughter as they move along their kind of high school time to best prepare them for college and beyond. So we want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. This is the first time we've done this meeting, and we look forward to kind of refining and expanding and providing these kind of opportunities more as we continue to develop and open things at Matilda Torres. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Have a good evening.